welcome to another helping of 31. So today is day 8, and in this one I am reviewing Hellraiser, or Clive Barker's Hellraiser, based on the graphic novel The Hellbound Heart, also written by Clive Barker. So Hellraiser, written directed by Clive Barker, starring Doug Bradley, Ashley Lawrence, Claire Higgins, Andrew Robinson and Sean Chapman. So this is a supernatural body horror, revolving around a puzzle box. This weird guy asks Frank Cotton, Sean Chapman, at the beginning, "What is your pleasure, sir?" And he gets this box and he's like meditating around it until like these meat hooks come along and rip him apart. And then we get our first look at Pinhead and the rest of the Cenobites, and then that's it. Next thing, we have Julia. We have Kirsty Cotton and her stepmother Julia and her father. I can't remember his name now, but they move into his house, and his house is like abandoned. Of course, Julia is still like dwelling on that one night stand they had on her wedding dress. On the wedding day, she was meant to be marrying the brother, but got off with Frank. So then next thing, the guy, husband, cuts his hand and blood's dripping down on it, and next thing we know, it was from blood that that Frank sort of Cronenberg's his way to life again and has escaped the realm of the Cenobites and must kill men to get their bodies and become whole again. And that's what Julia does throughout the film, lures men into traps, whilst Kirsty is suspicious about Julia and her crooked ways, and before you know it, she finds the puzzle box. Next thing, she unleashes the Cenobites, and we get our first look at them, of Doug Bradley as Pinhead and all the other Cenobites, Lady Cenobite, the Chattery Teeth Cenobite and the Butterball Cenobite, all creatures of pleasure and pain, angels to some, demons to others. So what they want from they want to take Kirsty, and Pinhead's like, "No, please, no suffering. It is no tears, such a waste of good suffering." And he says that iconic line, "We will tear your soul apart." Those are immortal lines spoken by Pinhead. And then Kirsty tells them that she can get them Frank back if they let her go. So they tell her that she can bring Frank back and take her place in that. Next thing, we discover that Frank has taken over his brother's body and stuff. And well, all hell breaks loose. So let's get down to my likes and dislikes on this film. I liked how, this film was written, directed by the man who also wrote the book it was based on, but he made a lot of alterations to it. Pinhead was originally female in the books, yeah. I also like the Cenobites. I like the effects it had for its time, and it's nearly 30 years since Hellraiser was made. I also enjoyed some of the performances in this film, such as Kirsty and Claire Higgins. Claire Higgins, she's a nice woman. I've actually met her once before at Comic Con. I asked her what's Doug Bradley like in person. She said she never met him because they always did their scenes separate, and she never went to the rap party. And here's another fact: Doug Bradley at the rap party, the whole crew was walking past him, thinking, I thought we all got on. Then it occurred to them that they'd never seen him without his makeup on, and they didn't recognise him. So I also like the body horror in this, the torture scenes, and that. My dislikes are like we don't get a lot of the Cenobites in it as we hope. I mean, they appear at the beginning of the film, and then we don't see them again till like the third act of the film. I wish we could have seen more of the Cenobites, but Hellbound Hellraiser 2 makes up for all that. Another thing I liked, yeah, that I think that's the only dislike I had. I also didn't like, you know, how slow the build up to Frank regenerating his body was and stuff. And I thought the middle act for me was a little bit boring, but you know, it's a classic, and I can't recommend this enough. But you know, it is a slow burner. I will say that. So, final thoughts and ratings. I thought this was shot great. Clive Barker did a great job in making this film, and yeah, it was very original for its time. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Hellraiser. I'm going to give Hellraiser a. Do you know what? I'm going to give it a 3.5 meat hooks out of 5. So, let me know what you think down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Hellraiser? Do you like it? If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. All my social media links, Facebook and Twitter, are all linked down below in the description, along with a link to my Facebook horror group. Feel free to join. And be sure to hit that big red subscribe button if you haven't been here before. And hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time a new video's on. You can watch all the episodes of 31 so far, which I'll leave linked at the end of this video. So, till next time, don't have nightmares.